My first day, well, I hadn't worked in 25 years, so that was a big deal.
Work means that you get to tell somebody what you do for a living. This is what I do. I work on a farm.
Seeing something that you planted from seed, seeing the completed product, and knowing that, somebody's going to enjoy that. That's going to go to feed somebody. That's really rewarding.
It's more or less a new feeling for me to be trusted and welcome where I work.
So employment is a critical part of the TEMA model because basically if we look at recovery for people with mental illness, it involves everything. It involves a full life. And a full life includes constructive, purposeful activity. For most of us, that's work. So Barb Fisher started in 1979 as the executive director of the Mental Health Association of San Luis Obispo. And she saw in her first couple of years the desire for people to work, the clients that we were serving. And so it was really her idea to start a local business that would hire people who have a mental health diagnosis. She basically got in her station wagon and drove around and looked for a piece of property. Her idea was to start a farm. When she saw this PG&E substation, she approached the local PG&E general manager and pitched this idea of using the San Luis Obispo substation as a farm and an employment program for people with a mental health diagnosis.
I'm a Growing Grounds farm, born and raised. 1988, I got the job as Farmer Frank here with the Mental Health Association back in the day. Growing lettuce out here on 7 acres. We pretty much had every ounce of this place covered. And I found that I was working alongside these wonderful, unique people. And that was my introduction to mental health and mental illness.
With the support of the Santa Barbara County Sheriff's Office and Deb Linden, we were able to put the funding together for a startup for a 3-acre farm on county property in Santa Maria.
And this land was just pushed around sand that they had developed buildings all around the site, and this was the dumping grounds for all the sand.
The Santa Maria farm is much more eclectic. They have cut flowers, they grow vegetables, they grow nursery plants, they grow herbs, they grow a whole wide variety of things. They have chickens, and so they sell eggs.
Being out in nature is very healing for everybody. There's touching the earth, and there's getting the sounds of you hear the birds in the background, you see the flowers blooming, you plant a seed and you watch it grow and turn into something that tastes good or looks good, and it's very nourishing to the soul.
It's, a really great place to work. It's peaceful here. People who can't be in really busy, loud environments like me, they can come out here and do work and see people, enjoy the literal fruits of our labors when they come to get vegetables and flowers and everything like that.
The great benefit of our downtown store has been how much education our folks have been able to provide to people who just walk in. If you're a tourist coming in and looking for something interesting to buy, or you're a Cal Poly student, you get to learn a lot more about mental health than you probably expected by walking into Growing Grounds downtown.
And then there's the customer interaction. And we have some people who are, very shy and not really ready to step up to that of greeting people. But we encourage that to happen. And it's a really satisfying, wonderful thing to see when people have been incredibly shy, to see that shift and see that confidence building. It's really nice.
Cool to see younger kids who are infatuated with screen time or the internet actually come in here and spend some time actually looking at plants and feeling them, and to see their parents actually be like, oh, that's cool, let's get you a plant. It's kind of cool to watch. It's like the new puppy.
I think there's a sense of everything I touch turns black. Well, they see that there's beautiful blooms that they're behind that. And they're seeing the plants loading in the truck that are going to retail nurseries that look fabulous. And our customers rave about our plants. So they hear about that.
Some people come in here and they have like really bad anxiety and they just can't, they just don't know what to do, you know, and they're really, some of them are crying because it's really hard, and people just start talking to them and just, you know, kind of letting them know that everything's going to be okay and that they'll end up liking it here, and everybody does, you know. So everybody's kind of like, it's like a little family, you know. It becomes like that after a while. Yeah, it's really nice here.
Well, I first found out about the Growing Grounds Nursery from several therapists over at Prado, you know, just all kinds of locations just recommending that I give it a try, but for a long time, I just didn't have the nerve to. You know, I was pretty deep in depression back then, but when my dog was diagnosed with PANIS, an eye condition that she had, I just needed some money, and that was the incentive to first show up and talk to Diane and Frank about whether or not I could start working here.
Yeah, I mean, they show humanity. No matter what walk of life you come from, how hard it is, how different people are, they always can connect on that human level. And it's like animals. Plants are like a common subject, or like food. Everyone can connect, doesn't matter the ethnic background, their age. It's just kind of a common ground so it brings that human factor into it. And there's this empathy and sympathy galore.
So if somebody has experienced homelessness, or they've experienced medications that haven't worked, or experienced different elements of recovery, they can turn around and really help the next person or the next group of people into their recovery process. So if somebody is here working at the farm and they can turn around and talk about, gosh, yeah, I remember when I first started, it was really, I had never worked before. And so sometimes the Growing Grounds programs can be their introduction to work.
Usually when we start working here, we're kind of broken, you know what I mean? We're not at our top, you know, because we hadn't been around people, probably haven't worked, and when you have mental illness, a lot of times you don't associate, you're not social, you know, you kind of stay in the background. So a lot of people are like that. I was like that when I came here. So I usually go up to them and you know, tell them who I am and what I do, and that I was just like them.
Or there's this one character of a woman who's been with me for 33 years, who still comes out. She struggles daily, but we laugh about the ton of manure we're gonna shovel out in those fields. When she used to help me with the lettuce, we used to spread manure, and she wanted to be the one that spread. So we sing a song. 1 ton of mierda, we're spreading 1 ton of mierda. That was our day, and that made my day.
Rough days are still pretty common for me, but I've really come a long way in how I deal with them. Used to be I would just self-isolate and continue down a spiral of just feeling worse and worse. Now I don't do that nearly as much. Now when I got my break, I got this job, a place where I'm supposed to be, a place where I'm succeeding, and that gives me a lot of strength.
I'm comfortable here, I feel good, I work every day. I don't know what I would do if I didn't have this job, you know? I look now and I think, what would I be doing if I didn't work anymore? So that's why I'm starting to get my wings, you know? So I'll be fluttering somewhere else.
One word to sum up Growing Grounds?
Understanding.
Humanity.
Hope.
Thriving.
Growth.
Wonderful.
Hope.
Love.